Correct. Okay, everyone switch on your videos. Come on quickly. Okay, all right. So we had also discussed about all of the characteristics of permanent tissues, and then we had discussed about the simple permanent tissues. Now, these are the simple permanent tissues are those that are made up of just one type of cell. Now, moving forward, the simple permanent tissue was further subdivided into multiple types, out of which the first one that we are going to study is parenchyma. Now, when we were talking about parenchyma, so we said that it is the most primitive and most fundamental tissue, and it is the most common tissue in the plant with relatively little specialization. Meaning, this tissue has not been, you can say, specialized to perform more than one function, and it performs just the normal functions. But before moving on with the topic, let us quickly revise what we have already discussed about the permanent tissues. So, permanent tissues, these are the ones that originate from the meristematic tissue. Now, who can explain differentiation to me? How many of you are preparing tissues side by side as the classes are going on? Hmm? None of you. Tell me, students, how many of you are preparing tissues as the classes are going on side by side? All of you are waiting for your final exams to come. Then only we'll study. Hmm? Tell me, what is the meaning of differentiation, cell differentiation? You can go through your notes and then explain.
Can I explain?
Sure.
When a cell takes a permanent form and a permanent a function to perform, uh, and they do not divide,
Hmm.
it's called cell differentiation.
Yes. So, meaning, if I say that the cell was living initially and then it got dead, is that differentiation?
No,
Okay, then what is differentiation in terms of function? Anyone else? See, you are right, Arhan. The explanation that you did was correct. But see, what happens in this particular type, or you can say in the case of differentiation, the cell which was initially dividing, now finally it has to perform a permanent function, meaning it has to get specialized. And in order to get specialized for one type of function or one common way that it has to perform, it, you can say, it is taking a permanent shape, permanent size, and function. It takes all of these things. Okay, Sad, it's all right. You can switch on your video and keep, like, stay in the class. All right, so talking about the cell differentiation, so it is a process of taking up a permanent shape, permanent size, and permanent function. Now, mostly whilst the cell differentiation takes place, during that process, there are some cells that lose their protoplasm. And what is the meaning of losing protoplasm, students? Hmm? The meaning of losing protoplasm. Anyone? Samia, what is the meaning of losing protoplasm? If any cell loses its protoplasm, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay, it's okay. Anyone else? Bharti, you tell me. If any cell loses its protoplasm, then what happens to that cell?
I'm not sure.
Okay, who else? Arham, you tell me. First of all of you switch on your videos. Why only 2 students have their videos switched on? All of you switch on your videos. Come on, quickly. Everyone. I will not repeat it again and again. Everyone switch on your videos. Now tell me. Anam, you also?
Yes, ma'am. Just a minute.
Okay. Yes, tell me. See, students, no one knows the answer. What happens to a cell when it loses its protoplasm? No one. See, it's...
Plasmolysis.
No. Whenever a cell loses its protoplasm, it means that the cell becomes dead. The cell is living only and up till it has the protoplasm present in it. Apart from that, the cell will be considered as dead. Clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure? Does anyone have any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay, very good. All right, now moving forward. So we talked about the different types of permanent tissues. They are formed from the differentiation of meristematic tissue. So in one way or another, we can say that the permanent tissues which exist now, they have once been meristematic tissues, isn't it? Is there any kind of meristematic tissue that is dead? Is there any kind of meristematic tissue that is dead? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No. Very good. There is no meristematic tissue that is dead. All of the meristematic tissues, they have their protoplasm present and they are constantly dividing in living tissues. Now we had discussed about the cell differentiation. Now moving forward, let us talk about the characteristics of permanent tissues. Now cells have lost the power of division, that is, they do not divide anymore. Now if the cell does not divide anymore, it doesn't mean that it is dead. Okay, but it's just the fact that it does not actively divides anymore. Now after the cell has lost the property of division, it means that they will get fixed or they will be, you can say, responsible for performing only one kind of function. And how does that happen? It's because they take a definite form, definite shape, and then a definite function. Now, they carry out a specific function as they are fully differentiated, meaning they have become now permanent. Now, the catch here is that the permanent tissues can be living or they can be dead. Both of the cases can be present in them. They have a thick cell wall because they do not have to divide a lot and they do not have to, you can say, change their shapes anymore. The shape that they are in, they are responsible for being in that shape and performing all of the functions that they're supposed. So they have a thick cell wall because they don't have to divide anymore. Apart from that, they have to store stuff. Now they have large vacuoles present, again for the storage purpose. Anyone has any doubts in these points?
No,
No, ma'am.
All right, so now we know that the permanent tissues are of two types. We have simple permanent tissues and then we have complex permanent tissues. Now, simple permanent tissues are those tissues that are made up of one type of cells, because we know that the tissues are made up of a group of cells. So, a group of cells that all of the cells are alike. They are similar to each other, similar in function, similar in shape and size. So, they make the simple permanent tissue. And then comes the complex permanent tissue, which are made up of different kinds of cells. Now, under the simple permanent tissue, we have parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. And then in the complex permanent tissue, we have the xylem and the phloem. Clear? Now it's clear to all?
yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Now coming on to the first type of simple permanent tissue, that is the parenchyma. So it is the most primitive and fundamental tissue. Fundamental means the most basic, like even if any different kind of tissue will not be present in the plant cell, but this will be. Parenchyma will be present in the plant's body. Okay. So it is the most common type of tissue. It will be present because it is the most primitive, meaning the first form tissue, and it is the fundamental tissue, the basic tissue. And it has relatively little specialization, meaning it does not, you can say, change its shape, the shape that it is present in. It will stay in that. Now, apart from that, another thing to remember about the permanent tissue is that they are living tissues. Okay, none of them are dead. They are living tissues, meaning protoplasm is present in them. Now, their shape can vary. They can be polygonal, they can be oval, they can be circular. So the shapes can vary according to the plants. Like, for example, different plants have different kinds of shape. Moving forward, their cell wall will be thin and made up of cellulose. Naturally, because the plant cell wall is made up of cellulose only, so the cell wall of the parenchyma will be made up of cellulose. Any doubts up until now, students?
No.
No, ma'am.
Now, we know that the parenchyma is a tissue, so it will have cells present in it. And the cells which are present inside the parenchyma tissue, they are loosely packed. Meaning, for example, this is the parenchyma tissue, okay? And cells are present. So the cells will not be present like this, closely and tightly packed. No, they will rather be present in a way like this, normally effortlessly. Okay? Normally, effortlessly, they will be present. So they are loosely packed. They are not tightly packed. They are loosely packed. Moving forward, since they are loosely packed, so there will be empty spaces in between them, isn't it? And these spaces are known as the intercellular spaces. Intercellular spaces. Now, when I talk about intercellular space, inter means in between. Cellular means this, it's denoting the cell. So the spaces that are present in between the cells of the tissue, they are known as the intercellular spaces. So since here the packaging is very loose, so the spaces, intercellular spaces will be present. Clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, miss.
Okay, very good. Now, apart from that, remember that the parenchyma tissue, they have a large central vacuole. Central, what is central? Meaning of central? What is the meaning of central, students? Central.
Present at the center.
Yeah, present at the center. Located in the center position. So the vacuoles which are present in the parenchyma, if they are present, so they will be located centrally. Centrally means in the middle, in the center. And since the vacuoles will be present in the center, so all around it will be the protoplasm, isn't it? These protoplasm, they will be very dense. Because imagine the vacuole is present in the center, so it is pushing the protoplasm towards the peripheral area. So the protoplasm in this case will be peripheral protoplasm. Peripheral protoplasm. And the meaning of peripheral, what is the meaning of peripheral? This position, peripheral position is which position, students? Periphery. Periphery means on the surface, the sides. You people know the position periphery, right? So the
Away from the center.
Away from the center towards the sides. So peripheral protoplasm. The protoplasm is present at the periphery and the vacuole is centrally located. So centrally located vacuole. Any doubts up until now, students?
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay, now moving forward, where they are found. So they are found in the parts of the plants that are soft, such as the cortex of the root, such as the ground tissues, meaning the most basic type of tissues in the stem, and also the mesophyll of the leaves. Okay, so now we will write each of those points, but before that, let us draw the structure. And mostly remember, see, wherever you see the word parenchyma, remember that the most important function that the parenchyma has to perform is storage of food. Okay, storage of food. Okay, do you people remember? No, it's not for you. Okay, storage of food is the prime importance of, or you can say the function of parenchyma. Clear? Clear to all?
Okay.
Very
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Yes, sir.
So these two structures, while you're noting down, you can draw these two structures also. Now, we'll write all the points that we have discussed up until now. So the cells of this tissue are living. Try to learn it here only, students. Like while I am, like it's 2 times, right? Once I'm explaining and the second time I'm noting it down in front of you, and third time I let you note down, isn't it? So while you're in the class, try to memorize the whole entire thing. So the cells of this tissue, they are living. All the things that I'm underlining are very important. Then shape of the cells may vary It can be spherical, it can be oval or polygonal. Okay, or polygonal. Now, what is the other point? The cell wall is thin. Cell wall is thin. And what is the cell wall made up of, students?
Cellulose.
Cellulose.
Very good. It is made up of cellulose. Does anyone here know what is the bacterial cell wall made up of? Do you have any idea? Okay. The cells of this tissue, they are loosely packed intercellular spaces are present. Students, was there any kind of question that you people had difficulty in solving or did not get the question at once in the test that was held here?
No, miss.
All the questions were doable, right? Okay, so there is a large central vacuole and dense peripheral cytoplasm. Okay, so a large central vacuole and a dense peripheral cytoplasm is present. Also, students, when you talk about biology, try to remember the positions in terms of biology. I have given you a little bit about the position also, right? Dorsal, ventral, lateral. What is
Yes,
dorsal position, students?
back,
What is ventral?
Front.
front,
Lateral?
side,
Sides.
side,
Very good. So now what is central?
Middle.
In the center, in the middle. Okay, and what is peripheral?
Away from the middle. Away from middle. Or
Away
side.
from the middle in the periphery. Isn't it? Very good. So they are found in the soft parts of the plant, such as now, such as the cortex of root. Cortex is a, like you can say, a very inner portion which is present inside the root. When you'll be in class 11, then you'll learn about cortex. So it is present in cortex of the root. It is present in ground tissues in stem and in the mesophyll of leaves. And students, what did I tell you? What is the prime function of parenchyma?
Storage of food.
Very good. Storage of food. So the function of parenchyma is storage of food. Now, see, does anyone have any doubts in this whole entire thing?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now see, the most unique and special thing about parenchyma is that the parenchyma tissue, it gets, you can say, modified or specialized. You can modify the parenchyma tissue. Okay, so we can write modification of parenchyma tissue. Or we can call it as specialization. Meaning they are getting, just like how you people, if you have these bicycles, you people get it more like modified or something, right? You, like for girls, we put baskets in the front and some decorative stuff, right? We do that, isn't it? That is a modification. For boys also, they put around, what do you people put? Mud guards and stuff, right? I hope I'm right, isn't it? So we do that, right? That is modification, meaning adding something to the thing that has already been existing, right? So the modifications to parenchyma is also done. We call it as specialization of parenchyma as well. Now see, there are some parenchyma that have chlorophyll present in them. What is the function of chlorophyll, students?
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. So those kind of parenchyma, normally the function of parenchyma is what? It is storage of food. But those parenchyma that get chlorophyll in them, or the parenchyma with chloroplast. See, chlorophyll is present inside chloroplast. So those parenchyma that have chloroplast, they can do photosynthesis apart from storage of food also. So these kind of parenchyma which are modified and they have this thing, chloroplast in them. So we call them as chlorenchyma. Instead of parenchyma, we call them chlorenchyma. The meaning of chlorenchyma is that this parenchyma has chlorophyll present in it. Now, there are some parenchyma, especially for the aquatic plants. How many of you know swimming here? Proper swimming? None of you know
Can
swimming.
we repeat?
I know electric.
I mean, if someone throws you in the water, you will like sink.
I know.
No.
Okay, you know. Okay, so like for all of those, like for those of you who don't know swimming, you like might enter the swimming pool or any water body with those floaties, right? Isn't it? So that you don't sink like kids do. You've seen that floaties, like you wear it on the arms and it's like tube structure. Okay. So what is the function of that tube structure? What does it do? Apart from making you look silly, what does it do?
Prevent you from sinking.
Prevent you from sinking, right? It lets you stay on the top of the water. So same thing comes for parenchyma also. Now for those plants that are aquatic, meaning they live in water, but even for them, they can also sink in the water, meaning they can go down the water body, right? Which is very detrimental, they'll die. So for that, their parenchyma have air cavities present. Just like how we use floaties because we can't have air cavities inside our body. So we use it externally. But parenchyma can get modified and they have air cavities present in them. So those kind of parenchyma, they are known as aerenchyma. And they provide buoyancy. Have you people heard about buoyancy?
Yes.
Right? It is the upward force that does not let things sink, isn't it? So those parenchyma that have air cavities present in them, we call them as aerenchyma. Any doubts up until now?
No.
No, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Now there is another type of parenchyma, that is star-shaped parenchyma. Parenchyma in the shape of a star. So we call it as stellar parenchyma. Steel parenchyma. Clear? Any doubts? So the first one was chlorenchyma. What is the modification? They possess chloroplast. And remember that, don't confuse chloroplast with chlorophyll. Chloroplast is the structure which contains chlorophyll. So now these parenchyma that has the chloroplast present, it means that they have chlorophyll in them. And since they have chlorophyll, they can do photosynthesis. So they are known as chlorenchyma. Second one that I told you about is aerenchyma. Aerenchyma is like these are the parenchyma. These are the parenchyma which has with, or you can say with, air cavities. Again, now you know what is the function of it? Buoyancy. So it provides buoyancy. Okay, so whenever aerenchyma comes in any question or someone asks you about aerenchyma, you remember ma'am gave us an example about floaties, so that you don't forget about it. And the chlorenchyma, they can do photosynthesis whenever need be. Okay. Then the third one, it is like it will never be asked, but it is the steel parenchyma. So talking about them, so these are the star-shaped parenchyma. Clear to all?
Yes.
Does
Yes,
anyone have any doubts in parenchyma?
no.
Okay, very good. All right, now you people can note down. So you had to start noting from where? From parenchyma? Then from what I've taught today.
Yes.
Okay, you draw this diagram also.
Can you scroll down?
All of you are done, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, miss.
Can you scroll?
Everyone's done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, miss.
Yes, ma'am. No.
Everyone done?
Yes, ma'am.
Um, um,
Done, students?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you are done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have any doubts up until now?
No, miss.
No, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Now see, students, as far as this particular chapter goes, this chapter, I'd suggest, like how the chapter is going side by side, you start preparing it also. Okay, meaning whatever has been taught in the class, you learn every single thing. Okay. Okay, students.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So now, students, is there anything that people want to ask me? regarding this chapter? Is there anything you want to ask me? No? All right. Okay. So for those of you who, like, you people have gotten the notification for, like, we are going to redo the chapter, that is fundamental unit of life, cell, the first chapter. So for all of you who have not done that chapter completely with me, you stay in the meeting. Okay. And for those of you who have actually done the chapter with me, you can attend the class for revision. Okay. If you want a revision, you can attend the class. Okay. All right, so let's just wait for other students to join and then I'll start the class. Okay, Bharti, if you need that, just in case if you need help in any other topic, you can continue, or if you don't, then you can leave.
Okay, miss. Thank you.
Okay.